What was your plan? You just came out. You're like, I just want to go rap on that show.
I was like, what could happen? I was imagining, what could happen? Let me see what happens. First of all, I'm like, am I nice? Am I really a tiger? You know, back home in the circles, in like the rap circles, you know, the artistic, creative kids and their community at large, they tell me I'm nice. I'm like, I'm nice? Maybe I am nice.
You're like also very posh in your being.
Yes, sir.
Like just
I believe
like,
so.
Yeah, just as a man, like
Yeah.
Did you worry about that coming to the city? Like, did you have any of that feeling like, if I all the way like be out here, I'm gonna lose the essence of who I am and where I'm from?
I wanted like a 360 change for my life, for my family, for my kid. It doesn't matter what is falling.
No matter what I'm
the
going
house
through.
is burning, but I gotta go
I gotta
because
get out there.
you need dough. You need dough to. You need dough to live, man. Out here
To
in
be
sales
alive.
economy, yeah.
Okay, never mind. It's crazy that the answers nobody had I found when searching for myself. Let's toast to victory. Pick up your glass, show me love for once. Let's toast to victory. And I welcome you this morning to Choppin It with Bhuda T. I am real swiftly and real crisply the Lord of the entire, the Lord of the every, the Lord of the babies, the Lord of the light-skinned baby daddies, Lord of the fit,
You know it.
Lord of the jig, him
know
and did
it.
a boy, the shade game is the verdict, this they know.
You know it. You know it. Know it,
Full
big dog.
clip alumni, and I say
my
that because,
gosh.
of course, with me today is my Lord, my guy, my friend in real life.
Yes, sir.
One of the very few, if they exist at all. Thank you for the coffee as well. Ginger Trill, ladies and gentlemen.
Finally.
Finally, nigga.
Reunion.
Yes, sir.
My
Welcome.
brother, my partner.
How are you, family?
I'm good, my G. How are you, man?
First time I see you in...
A little bit, A little bit.
What are we doing?
Terrible. Terrible.
Horrible. It's like more than 5, no?
Yes.
It's
no,
a bit
could it-
crazy.
5?
It's a bit crazy. No?
Ah.
Or I'm wilding.
You
It's
could
a bit
be.
No, it's a bit crazy.
It is crazy. It
When
is,
did
it
I
is
see
abnormal.
you? When was the last time? Do we know? I'm gonna give you my soul from jump.
Damn.
I can't. Shade game is the verdict, y'all know, but it's my guy in real life. So
Damn. Okay.
I can't even remember the last time I seen you, big dog.
I mean, come on, it could have been.
You see how crazy that is?
It is stupid.
Yeah, that's
It is
kind of
stupid.
crazy. Yeah.
It is
Welcome
stupid.
to my show.
Yo, man, thank you.
I
Thank
have
you.
a show these days.
I mean, I watch it so much, it feels like you're in my living room half the time. I'm listening to you. I'm like, hey, yo.
That's
So
kind of strange, ne?
it is. I think I've said that before to somebody else. It is the world that we live in today,
Just to be in your house living room weekly.
all the time. On my phone as well. So I'll be catching you on my phone first, but that's where we always at, right?
Yeah.
Even on the personal.
Yeah, on the social. Yeah.
Even on the personal, like we just on text and
Yeah.
but like, and then you switch on and then you just see your guy just doing all this work. You're like, after a while, when it starts off, but after a while, you're like, hey, yo, this thing has become like, this thing is like the...
Kinda.
Yeah, this guy created a thing here, and it's not just a platform. It's like a library of the culture because you're collecting and you're documenting the culture as and when it happens. So it's very important work, and The first episode doesn't let you know. You're just watching your guy. You're like, oh, what's my guy doing? He's putting in some work.
Yeah.
After a while, you're like, yo, this is actually documentation. He's done
That's
so
fire.
much work.
And it's so fire you say that because that's what an episode like this feels like for me. It's like,
My G.
I've been looking forward to documenting my guy, like,
My friend.
as a guy that's become like heralded as just one of the best to ever do it lyrically.
My boy.
Like one of the best to ever do, like to exist
My friend.
in this place.
You guys need to get it. I know, me and bro go back 14 years.
Yeah.
When we met each other, we were outside. I mean, would you call it an interview? It's not an interview.
What, full clip?
Was it an interview?
No,
it's
no,
not
no,
like
no.
an interview.
No,
but
no,
like
no.
there was a process of filtering.
Yeah. That
Right?
was, so audition.
Exactly.
Yeah,
There
niggas
was
had to audition.
You know, and what a moment.
Yeah.
I was so happy to be like a part of that and to see like the people who got, you only appreciate it really, really in hindsight, but to see the people who got like, okay, so as far as these guys are concerned, who are staples of the culture, maybe not as people knew it back then, but the
Yeah, we didn't throw around
niche.
buzzwords like that back then.
but the niche audience kind of was like, okay. So me being behind that and meeting these people, because I always love rap.
because by the time you got there, I was like on what?
Third week?
Yeah, third week.
Third
like,
week for you
comfortable.
already made
I
a
was-
buzz.
Yeah.
You already made a buzz. This new guy who's like spitting and going crazy, and like I was like, okay, so that's the next guy, huh? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and X having been the very first out there.
X actually was the very first. I caught his show by chance. I was coming from work.
Yeah.
I used to work at Markham back home.
Yeah.
So I was coming from work, coming from my lady's place.
Yeah.
You know, just to see her. And then I get home and it's like, oh, tomorrow's work, but there's this show. Let me hear it today. And here's X. And then 2 years later, we became friends instantly. Me and Brody became friends instantly. Because
From jump, now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I came up here, I didn't have a place to stay. You were the first person
Yeah,
who I met here who
you
said...
reminded me of that story recently, actually. I was like, oh, shit,
You were
that's
the
what
first-
happened?
Yeah, you were like, yo, you got a place to stay? Nah, fuck that.
Like, yo, just come to the crib.
Come to the crib. You get out here the next day.
Yeah, we'll figure it out the next day. Yeah, and that became the routine, kind of then. From
Kinda,
there,
a little bit, yeah.
But then because you stayed a couple days, no?
I mean,
Or
was
did you
it-
stay a couple days the next time you came back?
Probably the next time.
Yeah.
Probably the next time. I think the first time I just stayed a night and then I left. And I met the guys that you were with at the time, just where you were at with EXO.
Yeah, with the Dragon Society, with Big D.
Yes.
Kulego.
Yes.
And
Kulego. Right.
And EXO,
And
the
EXO.
big homies out there in Oakland Park.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we were the come up rappers.
I was like, yo,
Yeah.
man, I'd never really been to the city like that before that moment.
Yeah.
I literally came out here because I heard these guys on this show.
Yeah.
And I came to the show. And that's how we met.
And shit, that's actually kind of crazy.
It's crazy, dog. It's crazy.
What was your plan? You just came out. You're like, I just want to go rap on that show.
I was like, what could happen? I was imagining what could happen. Let me see what happens. First of all, I'm like, am I nice? Am I really a tiger?
Yeah.
That's the first
Am
thing.
I really?
I'm like, I don't know. I know because people here at home tell me, but how do I fare?
At home, by the way, is ornate. Out this
08,
B.I.H.
295.
If you,
Just in case you ain't
if you
already.
have no idea.
So,
Don't
you know,
ever get it twisted.
you know, back home in the circles, in like the rap circles, you know, the artistic, creative kids and their community at large, they tell me I'm nice. I'm like, I'm nice. Maybe I am nice.
Yeah.
I start believing I'm nice. But can you really fare outside of? Are you?
Yeah.
Can
Outside
you fare
of just the circumference
of your
out
comfort
here.
zone of your like community who's gonna build you and uplift you and motivate you? Like since a jit, man, people around my community have always motivated, uplifted me, and built me.
That's fire.
You know, just like growing up around people who are a little bit older than you, who recognize what it is that you do, who recognize what you are. Like, oh, this is a creative kid. He's an artist. We need to hone that.
At that time, also, the 80s, like, is a very big homie era, too. Like, as far as
it is
hip-hop wise and, like, culturally, it was like, yo, who's your big homies? Like, who are the niggas that put you on this shit?
You feel me? So, you know, I had big homies all around me. Each and every part of my township that I could go to, I had somebody looking out for me since a jit.
Yeah.
And by whatever reason, a lot of them were into hip. A lot of them were into hip hop.
Is Poch really a very hip hop like town? Poch is a town, man.
It's a city.
Are you sure?
It's a city according to like the things that make a city, right?
Okay,
A city has a town hall, a library, a university. What a stadium that could. I don't know.
Do you guys have a stadium?
We have a stadium that's like of Olympic standard.
Okay, that's fire.
Yeah, like
you guys ever make these out there?
Stop. Stop it. Let me tell you something about the Stroom. Tell you something about Poch's Stroom, my brother.
Yeah.
In Poch, like, it's not as far as people might think it is from JHB.
Yeah, from out here. Yeah.
A lot of people would be like, they think maybe it's like they confused it for Port Shepstone. I saw that when I got to travel the country for the first time as an adult.
Talk your shit.
19, maybe older. I got to see that a lot of people just think it's Port Shepstone. Like, are you from Port Shepstone? Like, what? No, man, I'm from Potchefstroom. It's just...
No, that's like up,
It's not that far. It's like an hour 15, an hour 30.
Because also when I met you, I also, in my imagination, thought...
This guy caught a bus from where?
Yeah, that might be like some places away. Like,
no.
But then when I also got to travel, I was like, and the first time I went out there, I was like, oh,
it's right
are we here already?
Yeah. So you hear stories about the city. You got family that moved to the city before you. You've just there's things that.
And Josie was very much still the boogeyman at that time on a crazy level.
As a young man.
Joburg.
Yeah, as a young man.
Does it still have boogeyman status from outside the city? You fresh out the... You fresh out the... What is it, Ganja? Is it the Bloom? Yeah. Like you're, 2-3 years in? 2 in. So coming from out there, is it still like, is Josie still painted as like a boogeyman of sorts, nah?
It's a big city.
Yeah.
I think there'll always be that aura around a big city in South Africa coming from a smaller city or town.
Oh yeah, you guys made it to city, yeah.
You know, it'll always be because there's so much more. There's more people, there's more industry, so there's more opportunity.
Everything's bigger too.
Everything is access, you know. Sandton is the richest square mile
in Africa. Yeah.
So the amount of economic activity about, and it comes with the things of the city, as any city in the world, I guess.
Yeah, as any big city.
Other city in the world.
And as the world has become smaller, you realize that, this is how every big city is. Like every major city is like this.
That,
yeah.
Because of just the amount of economic activity that happens in this concentrated place and the amount of people it draws to either live in or around the place. So, yeah, man, that's how civilizations are built anyway, I guess. Yeah,
so you're like also very Poch in your being.
Yes, sir.
Like just
I believe so.
Like, yeah, just as a man, like did you worry about that coming to the city? Like, did you have any of that feeling like, if I all the way, like, be out here, I'm going to lose the essence of who I am and where I'm from?
As a young man, I don't know. I'm one of those people. I think as a young man, me and my best friend, one of my best friends, I believe I have a couple. Yeah. Me and my best friend talk about it all the time, like on some, do you remember how you used to feel when you were much younger? You felt like you could do anything, you know? But the older you get, you start downsizing like your expectations, your dreams or whatever. You start you start thinking in a way that feels like it's more, I don't know, like realistic, right? So
that word, yeah.
Exactly. But as a young man, you don't feel like you can't do anything. You're not worried about yourself like that. Everybody around you is worried.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're gonna
and
go.
you don't even get why.
You don't even get why. You're like,
wait,
you worried? I could do.
Yeah, why do you just feel like that can't be done? Like, of course that can be done, yeah.
I could do anything. I could go anywhere in the world, you know? And yeah, so I thought, okay, it's like this, you know? Okay. I'm gonna be by myself, and for a little bit, I'll have these touch points. I'll have to travel around here in unfamiliar places. So, but I'll be fine. I know how to blend in. I'll be fine. That's what you know.
Yeah. So your first encounter though for you to even get there to that moment where you're like, okay, I'm gonna skip a whole city for this shit.
Yeah.
Just to go figure out, am I
really
as fire at this thing as I think I am and as they say I am?
Yeah.
Rewind it to the first encounter. When was that, if you can still remember it? Having been in it so long also. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been a long time now. Damn. But 22-year-old me is thinking like, okay, I'm here. This is how much I've done in school. I'm working, you know, I'm at Markham's. It's cool. Bring a couple dollars in. It's cool. You know? You like, I can stand on my feet. I can see my options. But damn, man, I love this thing. At the time, I didn't even think it was that deep. I was like, damn, man, I love this thing so much. I wonder if I'm that nice. I wonder if I'm that fire. And if I can go out there and do this professionally. Because you and your parents' household. So there's your father's voice in the back of your mind telling you,
of
big
course.
dog, you gotta finish. You gotta finish
and
this school
especially
thing.
then.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't it's a bit normal now. Like if a kid says they want to rap or be a musician on any level, it's like...
It's crazy.
It's okay, I feel you. Yeah, because kids become that every day now. But back then it was like...
brother.
Especially as a black kid. It's like, you wanna do... There's no black people that actually like in real life do that.
No, like...
and if they are... there's none that we know here.
Yeah.
Like, we've only seen them on TV.
Right.
Like, we don't even know that any that exist in real life.
Right. So, because like, coming from where I'm from, you're not gonna become... You don't think... When you see like a jabber on TV, because getting on TV... Remember the filtering process to
was
get on media
back then. Yes.
To be on media, like you had to get like tested and like checked,
be approved on a high level.
The people had to say, "Yeah, no, this guy is a what." So there wasn't internet where people blew up off the internet like that. Me and Big Dog, like I said, we met in 2010. Okay, trying to be musicians, I guess. I didn't even know.
Just to freestyle on radio, we had to be screened. Like, they're not even going to see you on here.
My boy. They had
just
to
let
check
me
you.
rap. It's like, yo, everybody going to rap outside. And then the Big Dog, which was Scoop, he's going to pick all the niggas he thinks are nice. And, it's not just... Oh yeah, not just anybody can come in.
No, not everybody could come up
upload,
there. No, it wasn't an upload process. There was human, you know what I mean, you
had to impress people.
Precisely. But you knew if Scoop, you knew, the culture knew if Scoop said, this is hip-hop, that's hip-hop.
Yeah. Facts.
As far as the voices that they become, him and C's, on like mainstream youth culture media, it was like, yeah, well, these people are within the culture like that.
Yeah.
As representatives.
Of course, yeah.
So, you know, I didn't know if I was nice. I was coming to find out first.
You're just coming to rap your ass off.
To do my Yo, I was bringing my A game. I was ready for that moment.
Yo, it felt that way.
I was ready for that moment for so long.
Your first appearance on the full clip, even when you played now, still like will give a nigga chills. It's like, yo, and also you kind of have not heard a nigga rap like that since.
Passion.
Yeah,
Passion,
like
preparation.
Even the hunger. In the fight was
like,
just
yo.
It's like, yo, what is this? Because it's like, there's niggas like X, for instance, who are like very nice.
He's so nice.
But
he's so superb.
Butter. And then you're like...
So smooth.
Yeah, he's like the smoothest nigga on earth.
Gosh. Yeah.
And then you're like super nice and then gutter. And
I was like hungry. The passion.
Them niggas were screaming. Screaming.
It's on record till today. It was
dog.
I had the advantage also of having heard other people before me. So my competitiveness, my need to be nice.
Yeah. You had time to prepare. You're like, okay, there's niggas who are nice on this level,
dog.
And who deliver on this level.
On this level.
Yeah.
Cause for a long time you like, am I nice? I think I'm nice. Then you hear somebody you think is really nice, you're like, oh.
Like, no, that nigga's... I have to go rap alongside them niggas.
This is the level. Yeah. I need to be prepared at this level. Like, I need to be ready. And that's how sort of like I prepared for that moment. Because I had like 2-3 weeks to get ready since hearing X and then watching it grow, DJ, smashes at the time. Like, you know, now there's a celebrity feature. There's a celebrity who pop in once in a while. Like, you might get a El Tito coming to do his thing. You know what I mean? He's still hot, but you know, in hip hop,
putting out a tape or something, got his fire joint.
He was one of the guys you knew, like,
facts.
This guy is hip hop.
Glitz Gang was
hip hop, and there weren't a lot. The culture hadn't grown to what it is right now, where there's a lot of these guys. They were official. These guys are hip hop. So you'd get those people who
and
pop
the only
in.
ones. Also, it's like, oh, these are the hip hop guys.
Come rap. Their Proverb had a freestyle with D. They went. They went ball for ball.
That was legendary too.
Yeah. So I knew. I saw this happen, and I knew where I'm going, and I knew, oh my God, there's so many nice people here. How are you gonna? Yeah.
How do you get out there and be the boy?
Yeah. So since then, since I was approved on this place that I thought so highly of, I think that's when as a 22, 23-year-old, that's when I said, I want to be an artist, to answer your question.
Yeah.
Because that's when we started.
You made me want to rap on a Sean Page's beat. Like, after that appearance, I felt like I was craving a Sean Page's beat.
My God.
I feel like that appearance made Sean Page beats feel like for the full clip. And then obviously there was Speaker.
There was a couple of other guys.
Who else became a
staple,
fire go-to producer for them shits? But a couple niggas.
A couple guys, yeah. Pages.
So then you get your flowers from the voices of the culture. Sis and Scoop, which is Sizwe Jomo and Scoop Makhathini, for those that may not
be familiar
with how cultural that time and scene was.
Yes, sir.
And also then X and I, we get signed to the Cash Time shit. And we go and switch styles, go Vinag and start making all sorts of... What does that mean for you in that position? And
my friend,
what was going through your mind at that time, seeing that, so I'm obviously not going to be Cash Time or whatever it is that's happening out here.
Broke my heart. By the way, I don't think have I told you?
I've told you. That's what I'm alluding to asking you.
Broke my heart. But like, so for me, you know, so I'm clicking up with you, you know, I'm clicking up with X.
Yeah, we locked in.
We locked in. We make a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. You, me, him, Keizo on the production.
Yeah.
Okay, we create this record, and I'm getting more familiar with like just coming out here
Yeah.
to the big city
Yeah.
and being plugged and played into like scenes. I'm not just catching it at home on the couch of Vuzu now. So I get a little bit of like behind the scenes of media, what it takes, you know, becoming a rap star.
We're moving around.
You know,
in
I'm
the
like,
prime.
okay. Okay, and then you guys, now this is a year later, 2011, since we met.
Yeah.
You guys get signed. 2011 late.
Yeah, I remember I got picked up late 2010.
Was it 2010?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Because for me it was on my third appearance at Full Clip.
Yes, it
so
was.
it was immediate. It was like overnight.
Life just sort of took off after, yeah.
So it was that, and then we picked up X top of 2011.
Oh,
yeah. And then announced Cash Time 2011, and later in the year did Goodbye. So it all was just.
2011 was Goodbye?
Yeah, like
Goodbye was 2011.
Late in the year.
So understand me, in 2012, I'm with my bro, all right? And things just went like 0 to 100. I'm at all these places now, backstage with you guys and, you know, but just before that, when you guys get signed, now it's affirmed to me that this is not weird as a career path.
Yeah.
A year after I sort of got my validation from being on the Full Clip, being grouped with the best.
As a rapper.
As just as an artist.
As
like, a rap
okay,
artist.
you
rap.
got it.
In fact, as a rapper, because I'm not an artist yet,
Yeah,
right?
no,
as
not yet. Not yet. Yeah,
as a rapper.
Yeah.
Like, yo, you got it, my boy. You can take this thing, to where, you know, it's never been. Because it feels like that era, us as the young generation coming up on like the Jabbas and the pro kids, right? Because we saw them have, and the Tukses, and
Definitely.
we saw them have careers that, which was still, there were still so little rappers going around the game. It felt like it wasn't much big of a thing.
Yeah.
Those people were really special to have these careers.
Yeah.
So now my friend's getting signed.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not crazy. Something
like,
is
the
happening.
youngins can do this too.
Something is happening. We in the age of like the rap Msawawas.
Yeah.
It feels like, for me, it's like, we're starting to get there, like, okay, we can have an Zambia for rap. Oh gosh. Okay, it's not a drill.
Everybody gear up. Get
Let's
ready.
figure out how to do this thing. And a lot of the people around me were sort of like, and that's just blessed. That's just like the luck, I guess, the law of attraction also. Because if you like something, it wants you too, right? So I just found myself around spaces with people who were also like understanding and get up to do this thing. And when you guys got signed, now I believe it can happen. Okay, I remember. And for those of you guys who don't know, this guy is my brother like that. Like he was trying to figure out how to get me on as well. Like, okay, I'm signed. I'm signed.
Yeah.
Okay, my boys need to get signed.
Yeah.
X needs to get signed.
That's how I got X into the
Exactly.
cash out shit. Yeah.
Trill needs
It's
to
like,
get
yo.
signed. You know what I mean?
No, I got my mans right here.
Like,
who's
dog.
Yeah, we could
kill this.
If you think I could do it, then
we could
trust
kill
me.
this thing.
These guys can do it.
That's the kind of bro my bro is to me. Okay, cool. And it doesn't happen. And I'm kind of heartbroken, but it was also very important to understand what I needed as an artist. You know, just from like an artistic perspective, like what's required of one, what does it take to take an artist and put them onto mainstream and it'll work. Like,
Yeah.
and you know, because it's not just about being a good rapper.
Rapper, yeah.
Rapper.
You quickly realize.
Quick.
Especially like with us in that transition,
time,
like
yes.
being taken from literally Full Clip where we were just coming out there and
Barring the hell out.
just go losing our minds to, okay, now we're in the studio with like KO, Ndugza, and Mae, and it's
Legends.
like, yeah, you guys can rap, but
Right.
we're not making rap songs.
We're making music.
Yeah, we're making music for the whole. So it's like,
South Africa.
the adjustments had to be made immediately.
Yeah. Just like
Which
as
then
in-
we would then come back and be in studio with you niggas and be like,
yo,
nudge,
actually, this is what's really.
Yeah, if you.
So that's how I peeped the game. I had like front row seats because I was running with these guys. The first time I was like at a big event, I think must have been Mufftown Heights, messing around backstage with you guys. Remember that day?
Come on,
no, you remember that day. But I don't think it was yours first time. And Goodbye is huge. I think, I don't know if the album had dropped, but Goodbye is huge. So
that
to
was
go
like
from
song of the year,
dog. So to go from, oh my gosh,
and 12.
To go from like, you know, knowing you guys and watching this and realizing and knowing that these guys don't rap how we rapped on that platform here. Okay, something is different. To see it work. I woke up to it. I was like, okay, there's something here.
Yeah.
And I get why I wasn't sort of like, I wasn't ready yet. I didn't fit into that mold yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I couldn't make music. And I tested it.
The gutter was still thick.
My boy, it was
The drug rap tone was still
I was going in with
crazy.
like the drug innuendos. You know what I mean? I was still like just infatuated with that era of rap, and I hadn't found a way to maybe like communicate it better, you know, because that's the thing about rap music as like a art form. There's like codes that you can tap into that are universal anywhere, and you can make them like, and people understand them anywhere. I was, you know, like how you created lingo, right? You created lingo, and it permeated into SA hip hop culture and SA hip hop music. It went from the way you spoke, then we spoke, to the way the game spoke. And even kids who are not in the game,
pop culture
just SA hip hop culture, pop culture inside out. And
and then just youth culture.
I hadn't tapped into like things that probably make it like cooler in an authentic way yet. And I learned that. But I learned that quickly in a year of just hanging with you guys. I was like, this is what it is. This is what it is. And this is cool.
Yeah, it's like, yo, it's cool to be just you like that.
Yeah, this is cool.
It's like, yo, the people are allowing. It's like, they eating this up.
Yeah.
Okay, then we straight.
One of my favorite moments was when you guys dropped Radio. Radio.
Yeah.
What a crazy acronym. Rapping dead, it's out
here.
Radio? I was like, oh my God. Cash time. Motherfucking fam.
Yeah, I listened to that like, I think a year ago. Someone reminded me of it. And I was like,
goodness.
Yo, we were wilding on
Yeah.
this. Also, when you listen to that, then that's where you can pick up where a lot of the flows and style that exist and have evolved like into what they've become, a lot of them. Like, as far as the South African style of rap, like you find a lot of that in there.
Precisely. I remember every session, and when I think back on it now, it was just lifestyle.
Yeah, we were just living like that.
It was just a lifestyle, you know, coming back from a show, coming back from an interview, coming back from basically doing all the duties of an artist in the daytime where you have to be serious and show up on your best behavior, put your best foot forward and work. When we were making music, it never felt like work. And a lot of the things that we would do would just naturally, just organically go into the music. And to watch that blow up from like behind the scenes, with also our era being like the era where we went from CDs to data file host,
to the internet,
Zippy Share, MySpace, and eventually
Hulk Share,
and eventually Apple Music.
Yeah,
and now we're in an era where streaming is currency.
Even the YouTube was still new.
Yeah, it was still bubbling.
We're putting our videos on YouTube.
Yeah,
like, watch this on.
Yeah.
It's like,
the oldest YouTube
now
music
we're trying
video.
to see it on TV.
Yeah, how music culture you know, when it went to the internet, I think that's what made it easier for like also just like SA hip hop to grow the way that it did.
To grow like
it was at
exponentially.
The tip. In South Africa, I think that was like when it was at the cusp of just like being something that's accepted on mainstream radio as like, oh, everybody can do it.
Yeah.
And even allow, you know, because English rap wasn't always a thing, right?
Yeah. It was hard
On
for
mainstream.
the English rap to go up on a mainstream level.
No, like English rappers didn't really.
And it's still kind of that way.
Yeah.
Still kind of that way. There's exceptions.
Yeah. I feel like back then it was way more serious because like SA hip hop, we didn't realize that SA hip hop had to have its own identity in the grand scheme of things.
A local one.
A local one that resonates with the people where it's from.
We all were still trying to figure that out.
And I see a lot of times what messes us up as young creatives who maybe like grew up doing it a certain way.
Yeah.
What messes us up is the fact that, well, if you don't sound like where you're from, and if you don't talk about the things where you're from, then how are you gonna make music for the people where you're from? Why would the people from where you're from listen to what you're doing? Got that, learned that the hard way.
Yeah.
But once I got it, everything made sense. SA music and how SA hip hop music blew up to create, I think the biggest artists ever in SA hip hop are from our generation, no?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
The most successful.
The golden era. Yeah.
There's debates. I hear all these chats outside. People are not agreeing. I'm like, what do you mean? That's the golden era.
Is that debatable?
Dog, there's debates outside.
The fact that era is the golden era of SA hip hop?
They are saying, and I say they, because we are documenting SA hip hop for the youth now.
Yeah.
They are saying that no, it's ignorant. Some are even saying it's disingenuous to say that we didn't see SA hip hop become its own thing when Squatter, Jabba, Pro Kid, Amu, when those guys in the 200 eras, the early 200s, gave it an identity and it had commercial viability economically. When you can see like a rap star just living off being a rap star. Not, you can rap but you make Kwaito.
Yeah.
There's that.
Yeah. There was a lot of that going on.
There's that. Oh, I always felt like, oh, we love this place. It's a hip hop song.
Yeah,
From the biggest Kwaito.
TKZ made a couple hip hop joints.
That's a hip hop
songs
joint.
that had rap verses.
This
is a rap verse.
The cadence and everything. You're like, this is like
even the talk and
Booga Love coming with the felt jam.
It's like
that cat that doesn't give a damn.
This is a rap joint.
It's a rap song. Bob Mabena made a rap song with 16V.
Yes. These are the OG rap niggas.
It's a rap song with what's this lady? I know this lady. I love her so much. With Wendy Mseleko in the scene. When you look at it stylistically from a visual perspective, that's hip hop at the basketball court with the bandana.
Yeah, that's hip hop.
That's hip hop. Like, okay. But the first people
which is what was smart about Kwaito. That's why Kwaito worked, because Kwaito is actually the first SA hip hop.
It is.
Because even the Kwaito vids, like with Zola and Mendoza and all of them, like Mendoza and Chiskop, they were breakdancing in street corners in full tracksuit sets. That's
facts.
That's literally Run DMC.
Facts.
Like
big facts.
But the niggas make locally resonating
Yeah.
music
Yeah.
from sonically,
the sonics
and
sound
then
like-
the talk is very
Right.
okay. Hood, got ghetto
Right.
scandalous and whatever. That's
actually
why
rap music.
That's why the stuff that we considered hip hop, which was niche also at the time, which will then be the Amos and the Proverbs, and that's the space that was fighting for its space because that wasn't accepted on a mainstream and national level.
Sir, it wasn't at the time. It wasn't at the time. And I think going back to answer, they pushed it a bit further, like
definitely.
sonically,
Definitely.
into like it being more hip hop. Because there's a distinction in the production. You know, I'm low-key a Kwaito head. Like a lot of people wouldn't think that about me, but I'm a huge Kwaito head because I'm obsessed with like this style of rap. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'll post that on Twitter that I'm actually listening to like Mandoza Skelegek. I'll just post the artwork because
yeah.
how do you rap like that? You know, we rap like rappers rapping, but there was this talk about Kwaito that wasn't in the cadence of. So I listen. So all those things are very exciting to me, down to the production. And to answer that question is why there's these chats. People say the 200 eras of hip hop gave SA hip hop more of an identity, and us not saying that's the golden era is why we are being disingenuous. When we just feel like we've never seen the game at that level. In 2014, it was the games
It's
went
like, because also it's like even when you talk about the internet era and it becoming official and it becoming a place where we actually go to, it's like there's flagship songs that caused that, like that hit initial milestones, like songs like Boom Shakalaka, like are songs that broke the internet where we didn't even know what breaking the internet is.
Was,
it was
at the
like,
time, it wasn't a term.
Everyone go to, it's like, what's happening? And everyone's like, yeah, no, there's this
song.
thing. There's,
you seen the video?
Just click this link and
you're gonna peep.
It's like, oh, okay. It's like, oh, shit. And then we all talk about it on Twitter. And then it's like the first of those things happening. And then Doc Shebeleza also pushed it to a whole
higher
nother,
level.
like, after Boom Shakalaka and all that. Like, I remember Doc Shebeleza also went in, and then visually with YouTube and the download on the net, and then Slicker on Live becoming a real thing, and a site where it's like, okay, now there's a site where that would then be Karakara and things that were launched on those type of platforms. So there's like lineage of milestones that were broken in those eras, like just within those 4 or 5 years, where things went from, okay, it was like, okay, people aren't really too sure they like 1, 2, or 3 people, but overall they're still, you know, murmurs of the Amakoporosh from the Kwaito niggas.
They're still like,
you guys not really,
you guys are not cool yet.
Certified yet, yes. And the people that succeeded, it still had to, like at the highest level, still had to have a blend and mixture of where they make the worlds meet. Which is something Cooley also said when he came in, where it's like the other side of the real hip-hop niggas felt like, hey, niggas are doing that quite hop. It's like, because you're like, you know,
he's
the jabber and
the...
By the way.
Cooley is the... For me, Cooley Chana, it's like people like him because he's like the best at like the, you know, like the era that they blew up in. For me, I feel like Cooley is so hip hop. When I listen to Lost in Time,
he's very
I'm
hip hop.
like, this guy is actually like a genius level like rapper. He just makes it sound
and
like it's
artist.
easy. A rap artist.
Yeah, he makes it
look and sound easy. But when I try to follow the flow, like, and I feel like, okay, let me try draw some inspiration. I'm like,
it's like, yo, that's not easy to do.
How do you do that? That's insane, man. That is a creative.
Yeah, definitely. And
I appreciate him from that level.
Yeah, my love for Cooley actually is where I adopted the make it look easy love for. It's like, Because that was a very smashes thing as well. And I
Yeah.
think I still carry that. Like, that's a part of my... It's like, I
Yeah.
never wanted to sound like there's hella effort in the thing. It's like, it just always must sound like it was
Yeah.
just... Like,
Yeah, it
oh,
was-
okay. But
you
then
did
when
that
you
so
actually get
effortlessly.
into it, it's like, oh, nah.
The
there's-
science. Then we
Yeah,
peep the
it's like,
science
oh,
of
nah,
like
there's-
how he crafts these rhymes and like how you go into these pockets and like, and I'm like, it sounds like you're just talking. Cause that's how you talk on every day.
Exactly.
I'm like, this guy's rapping his ass off.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
the pocket work also. Because
Yeah.
his Cooley's pocket work is crazy.
Yeah. Yours too. Like,
you know,
I was always in awe of that. Like, how you could take, because I feel like that's one of his things. I think Cooley kind of raps like he talks.
Yeah.
He kind of raps like he talks. And I think, you know, the OG Toady might have tried to school me like, yo, because I asked him, you know, I'm gonna ask a legend. On like a rapper level, if you're a legend, I'm probably like, if you're my legend, I'm probably like the worst person to be around. Cause I nerd out.
especially if it's outside of the show.
I
then-
geek out. If I catch you and we were just like chilling, I'm gonna geek out and say, but how did you do that? How do you write like that?
Yeah.
Because I want to know, how do you create such timeless music? Because I feel like I could learn something and add that to my arsenal, you know?
And Cooley, like, I've heard niggas speak on even his recording technique, like how
never had
he's
the pleasure.
Yeah, I've never had the pleasure to experience, but
Yeah.
I've heard, like, you know,
Yeah.
the...
Oh my God.
And it's like, niggas will be like, yeah, he'll just go in there and, like, do ad-libs first.
Oh my gosh.
And then go over and then go and lay parts of the verse. Like, then
Oh
it
my
starts
gosh.
making sense.
He's a mad scientist.
I'm like, damn, I
He's a
would
mad
love
scientist.
to see
It
him do
actually
that.
sounds like, because it sounds...
It makes sense when you look at how the final product comes out. It's like, yeah, because how did you find all those spaces?
They so cool. I feel like the hottest rapper in the country is from those guys right now.
Yeah. Talk that shit. From your ends,
No,
O and
well,
8.
yeah, I mean, but
Because he throw up O and 8. McLaren, of course, is who we're talking about, yes?
yes. Dope boy is proud of where he's from.
Is Gladrop still...
No, it's not.
It's
It's like
small.
So I look at it like how I explain it to people. It's like the difference between Joburg and Pretoria.
Oh,
Like people from here get what that
means.
means, right? Like
Yeah.
it's like there's a 30-kilometer difference, and you feel it in the pace as well. It's like it's the same, but it's not the same. We
Yeah,
don't
we're
even
all
speak
kind
the
of the same people, but
yeah,
we're
we
not.
don't even speak the same because they
Yeah.
speak Sesotho in
Yeah.
Klerksdorp, even though they are Northwest. But it's like I think that kind of lets you know the history. Like a lot of people who are in Klerksdorp are probably from the Free State, came there to work, and that's how the town of Klerksdorp, because it's a mining town.
Yeah.
That's how it drew in a lot of labor and workforce that built the economy there, and thus the townships grew, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you niggas did the joint together. Where I think it was. Well, you got on there and took that shit. Was it Boydie, him, and you?
Yes, it was me,
Yeah.
him, and Boydie.
And that was, what did y'all call that?
Owen's finest. It was Owen's finest.
Yeah, which is why I asked. I'm like, oh, that's so it's because
Yeah.
it is them sides.
Yes, it is. It is. He's still 0-8. Potchefstroom is 0-8. That's how. Who else? I think as far as Daung, I think. Yeah, like, but a large part of theirs 0-8.
Let's speak on Tinism. Because
Tinism.com.
we've gone all the way.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah,
And
we're
we didn't
doing
speak
our
about
own
where
thing.
Yeah, we didn't even speak about where it started. Right.
You then become, Tinism becomes your way into mainstream. Like as far as, okay, you're signed to a situation that's gonna fund your progress from being established as, oh, this guy can spit his ass off, and now we're about to turn you into a musician.
Yeah.
How does that form itself? Where did you even meet Tin? How did y'all meet?
My brother. So my brother Tini, I meet him through
Big dog Tini, by
Big
the
dog.
way. Don't
Big
get it
dog.
twisted, yeah.
My brother. Love that guy to bits. So I meet him through .com. And it's also through the
.com,
channel.
the producer.
The producer.
Yes.
We gotta actually
There's
set
a
the record
distinction.
straight. Let the record show.
Because there's .com,
There's
the rapper / R&B.
R&B artist.
Nigga, yeah.
And then there's like the producer.com, who's part of the foundational phase of that whole thing that happened with let's say, our story.
Yeah, definitely.
And he was producing for X.
Yes.
He was producing for P Dot. He was producing for Black Les, the
He was heavy
Anvils.
in the PTA.
He was heavy in that scene. And somehow, him
he
and
had the
.com
best
linked.
bounce at that
X,
time.
oh my gosh.
Like,
Yeah, when you hear that on the Hot 99,
he had the best
on
bounce
a Thursday,
on the shits, yes.
on the morning and the night, you understood that,
Yeah,
okay.
it's okay now. It's
This is-
jamming. It's jamming.
It's jams. So I knew the first thing I identified. So becoming a rap star, you need to make rap music. At least you have to make music, then rap music, then South African and rap music.
Yeah. There's levels.
There's levels. So I had to learn how to make better music.
Yeah.
The first step is production.
Yeah, first level.
First step is production. This guy got the bounce. So I called him up. And I don't know if I probably DM'd him on Twitter, tried to make connection.
Probably caught him on the BBM or something.
Exactly, because we were out of the BBM. Oh, BBM
Heavy.
was such a snitch. Snitched on a lot of you guys. Sis, you guys are doing gemors on the internet. But
Facts. That was a crazy time. That's when screen munching came into play.
came into play. What's this guy watching? What is this
That's
guy
when the
watching?
screen munching came
Oh my gosh.
Hi, boy. Hey, somebody's getting told on out there.
Oh my God. Exactly. So I probably hit him like that. And that's how he said to me, yo, I'm in a situation. So I'm .com, part of Tinism.com. Come meet the outfit. Where you at? Come to Centurion. We based in Centurion. Come see the outfit.
Yeah.
I make my way up there one day. And it's a production house. This is the kind of...
And this before the Gauw train, yeah?
This is just the Gauw train was being built, so it wasn't
built.
operational.
Yeah. So
it
this
wasn't
before Gauw
operational.
train. So
Yeah.
niggas gotta
Figure
it out.
you gotta
Yeah,
figure
yeah.
it out. Man, I don't know my
Thugging
way
it.
around. I don't know. You could drop me, if you airdrop me in the city, I might get God before I figure my way out of this place.
I swear to you.
So it's like, I went over there, I met up with them, and that's how I met Teeny, and I realized, it's this outfit, and they sort of like a production house. And that's when we made a song, and it's like, actually, instead of just making a song, we are this, we do this. You are that, you need this. So how about we come into a partnership? And that's how I created my debut album, with Teeny, with .com. Later we roped in Jay Smalls, and the four of us were trying to figure out how to create an industry-ready rap artist in the 2010s. Yeah. Dropped my debut album with them in 2012.
You're the flagship artist of Tinism.com.
Precisely.
Yeah.
I was the first artist to be verified
Yes.
under Tinism.com.
Yes, and this is the Tinism
Exactly.
Yo, Tinism knew how to pull that off before the major
labels.
Because he had been able to read what it took to be verified as an artist per se.
I told you.
I was like,
fuck.
What?
Because he's a techie, right?
He was ahead of the game.
Yeah, Big Homie is a techie. He works in technology. You know, he can do anything IT. He can code.
Yeah.
So he knew what he was looking at, and he knew what it was becoming before.
He
most
knew
of
what
us
he was
in the
doing.
world. He knew where it was going. So he could see the game. He was like, okay, my lighty's got a bit of a buzz. My lighty is this nice. My lighty is noticeable as a name in these spots. This is becoming a currency. And they don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Because you already knew how to get me on Apple. It was only me and El Tito on iTunes. It wasn't even Apple at the time.
Yeah.
Only me and El Tito in 2012, outside of major distributed artists.
Yeah.
But only me and El Tito, I think, in hip hop.
Crazy.
Had our albums on Apple Music,
Crazy.
on iTunes at the time.
Yeah.
I was like, this
He
guy's
was
working.
he was
He's
ahead of
the
his
curve.
shit. Yeah.
So he saw that verification thing and he was like, if I verify my boy before everybody else, boom.
Yeah.
Now all you have to do is listen to his music. You're gonna find out.
You're gonna find out it's really the boy. Yeah.
You feel me? So that's how
Amazing strat, by the way.
Amazing strategist.
Great call.
Amazing strategist.
I literally remember the day. Like
When I got verified, the internet was buzzing. The internet was on fire. Everybody knew who I was. Bro, they called me Illuminati that day. That's when I found out what being trolled is. And being like,
exactly. So I was about to ask you about that. Like, so, like, it came with, okay, we discover you now.
Yeah.
As far as the whole space as space on Twitter, because then it was like only like a Bonang or something who was verified.
She wasn't.
Even then
they got verified shortly after I got verified.
Verifications had not like gotten out.
C's wasn't verified.
Yes, big dog.
C's wasn't verified. You get what I'm saying to you?
So it's like you literally had, and also you had like, I think at the time you had probably like 3,000 followers.
3,000 followers. Listen to me.
So niggas were losing
They were
minds,
losing their
like,
shit.
How is it? And who is this nigga who's
Nigga, what?
verified for what?
Nah, this nigga bought it. They were like, I was talking to Nigerian scammers, and we figured out, they said anything under the sun except that I'm a child of God. They say, yo, man.
Except bless your soul.
They said everything. Like, nah, ain't no way, Big Daddy. How did you do that?
It's like,
ain't no way, Big Dog.
Where are you niggas buying this?
Precisely. So Teeny had figured out the game and he had figured out currency because this is the time where, like we were saying earlier, how boom shakalaka and everything was taken off on the internet. So having a personality and their own thoughts being published and broadcast at such a thing, and then brands and other establishment of who are verified, because companies might have been verified at the time, international ones and international people. When it says the verified account of this person, that's how avatars became official, I guess, as a representation of the real you and us existing, you know, as the image of ourselves.
In the multiverse.
Yeah, this account in the multiverse, big dog. Like this guy's avatar in the multiverse represents him and his real thoughts and feelings.
This is where he is. And we verify him,
that is him
as a person. That's really him over there.
Precisely, exactly.
But the objective nonetheless was reached. Like,
it was.
Everybody then was like, okay, so
who this nigga? Exactly. And that's how I started being afforded access to move around more areas of the culture, more places that sort of like where hip hop was taking place and happening.
Yeah.
That's how it happened just right there.
I remember you going on a Sprite tour also, right?
Yes.
That was also for me like one of like your route of like rap career was like so real hip hoppy, like, especially like because even when you speak about how X and I had to change the way we rap, like our styles and whatever, there were also murmurs of niggas calling us sellouts.
Of course,
from the niggas we came up with.
Of course,
we had a bit of that also.
It got shaky
on us. So
it got shaky.
Watching you then take that route and going on to I think with Reason and them niggas. Reason came after that, right?
He didn't even go like on the nationwide tour. He'd only pop up at like the real big shows or activations, you know, that were like serious. So I was the one who went around the country on a tour bus with everybody, and and then they'd have the big show where they'd bring maybe Mobb Deep, or they'd bring Pharaoh Monch along with, you know, Jean Grey. I met Jean Grey at the first.
Super hip hop.
Yeah,
shit,
it was
like,
super hip hop. They had Mobb Deep. I actually had the privilege of hosting the press. I was emceeing the press release for Mobb Deep when they were out here. So
like imagine that.
Yeah, and they were out here together.
And you grew up on
my boy.
So that's That's like, there's a lot of like super crazy shit like that has happened in our lives through these years. It's like, as a kid that grew up like, and this was something that I just saw on Channel O, like passing by in like whenever during the day.
Yeah.
To then like, this is a part of my life. And these things are happening in my real life. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Sometimes I wondered if I could even like, because there's people I wished I could share it with aside of my friends. You know, you wonder if you don't think you're going to tell your parents like, I was with Mobb Deep, and they get what that means. Yo, I was emceeing the gig for Mobb Deep.
I was just
with Sprite, the international.
Yeah, the Sprite
Grand
we drink
Hill
here at home.
Sprite. But you know,
are you still at Cynicism at this point?
No,
so that comes after.
Oh, no. Oh, you mean as this is happening? Yes, 2015, 16.
Because Cynicism kind of helped formulate and build the brand Ginger Trill. And that's also when you change your name from Ginger Breadman to Ginger Trill.
Yes, yes.
What also you low-key the first rebrand rapper, no?
Yeah, actually,
because I kind of was taking that credit.
You're not the only one. Stogie also believes like he did the greatest sleight of hand in the game because nobody really like.
I did it before Stogie.
I think you might. No, Stogie T came out as Stogie T when 2015.
I don't know.
He dropped the song. I remember seeing that logo when he did the song. So when he did By Any Means, he was already Stogie T. By Any Means is in SA hip hop history. Was that?
Yeah, that's Stogie T. Yeah,
that's 20.
Who was I then? I was
we already singing the Lord of the entire Bhuda T. Oh God!
Before the Zulu Katini, before the Sizzle Alakine.
Before Alakine, did A1 also change? Who also changed? A lot of guys rebranded.
Don't matter. These are insignificant detailing.
Who's keeping score? Who's taking? But yeah, I mean, I think that was it. And it's funny, it was serendipitous.
Don't hurt us, Trilly. Don't hurt us now.
My big dog, Chaba would also say it's a happy accident.
Ooh.
You know, serendipity. So the rebrand happened because I got verified. It's not that I came out and rebrand myself. I got verified on Twitter, and because you couldn't get Ginger Breadman the way I spelled my name, because it was never Gingerbread -man. It was Ginger space Breadman. You know, like, because I was going off the dope boy moniker, like the drug rap influence. You feel me? I was going off that whole thing, like, you know, Breadman, dope boy. Like this is the brand of rap you come into experience when you come see me. This is the luxury with which you're going to be treated to your experience of rap. That's what I was thinking when, you know, but I couldn't get that. It wasn't available as a name. And I'd already started using the slang and saying Trill, you know. My guy Uno reminded me the other day when somebody asked me, what does Trill mean? And I felt like saying true and real was grossly oversimplifying it. But yes, when I was running around with, yo, Trill this, Trill that, I said Ginger_Trill. That got verified. People started, as Teeny would complain to me, people started like, so that's when I started getting features. When people would feature me, they start changing. They start writing Ginger Trill instead of Ginger Breadman without consulting which it is. And
he hated that actually at that time.
Because he was like, we didn't pump money into this. It's brand confusion.
I remember there was a time where, because I would come out there and kick it with y'all a lot, and he'd be like,
and we share ideas.
Tell your boy, man, don't understand that brand is. I'm like, big dog, I got nothing to do with this. You niggas figure that out.
And he was right. From a business
He was
standpoint,
very
he was
right.
actually very right. Because he was teaching me something. And I was just, I was just a young man like, man, the game is the game. I get the game. You don't get the game.
Yeah, we got this.
But in the end, I think it was the right thing to happen because Ginger Trill as a name is so unique. You've had Ginger Breadman. I saw many accounts. There's other rappers in the world that nobody knows. There's the real Ginger Breadman. Catch me if you can. But so I felt like it was the right thing to happen.
No, it was. It was. Definitely. Shit. So is this after or before your first album? Do you get verified before the first album?
I think I get verified 2013. First album is 2012. I know I get verified in 2013 because I checked. I checked recently. So it's 2013 I get verified.
So what do you put out after that? And also, how do you feel after your first album? Because we all make our first albums to be like, oh, just when I put this body out,
I was mad at my first
the
album.
whole country gonna know, like, I'm the greatest of all, and life ain't never gonna be the same. Like, I'm gonna be on tour, I'm getting, like,
I'm gonna
make millions, and we gonna be out of here. Mama, I got you.
Dude.
That's like what we all imagine the first album to be.
I learned that's the things that made me, because my first album didn't have a hit. Like, I didn't have a goodbye that was on TV in music video form when it was so hard to when there was, like, YouTube wasn't a thing that makes people blow up. You blew up because it's playing on TV, then the numbers on YouTube will rank out.
Yeah.
You gotta be mainstream. You gotta go through the channels. So I didn't have that at the time. So when I create this album, I created it because I've been with Tinism.com since 2011, and Tini wasn't finna waste time. He was finna make me an artist and he's gonna show me what it takes. I didn't understand it at the time, but I got to appreciate it much later. That okay, maybe we can't get it. Maybe he's not the type of artist who makes a hit, but he's the type of artist who can create something of value that's really dope. So you gotta go. Yeah. You gotta go, big dog. Let's go. Finish this album. Ginger, finish this album.
Yeah. He was very finish this album, nigga.
Finish. You working on this album?
He did not want to see you kicking it in the stool.
No, he's just fucking kicking it, wasting his time, chowing his gas, just like loitering in his space. He loved having you around, but work.
But yo, we gotta make work ass, that we're gonna.
Because he gets up off his ass, and he's a do-it-yourself kind of guy. So I looking back at it now, I appreciate it more because I created that, bro, and there was a niche sort of group of people who just and supported Ginger Trill ever since then. And I threw my first show off of that album. And just like the success of all the other things. So he treated it as one long rollout. I didn't get it at the time because I wanted to drop the next album. I was like, I didn't have a hit. Let me get a hit, drop the next one. Let me get him again. He was showing me how to roll out an album. And I learned that there too. I did my first show at like State Theater and a lot of people pulled out. I didn't pack it out, I didn't sell it out. But a lot of people pulled out. And he was trying to teach me, like, you see these people? These are your people. Grow with them. Supply them. Cultivate. I was sleeping.
Didn't get it.
I wanted to cast out a bigger net and catch. I was like, no, man, I need to.
Because also, it's like, yo, you're looking at the other niggas, like, I'm trying to do what the other niggas doing.
Those guys on tour with me, like, getting like 25 a day, like, what the hell? These guys were hard. My guys getting Nokia ads and like KFC wants like brands. So I want to hit. But he's showing me
there's
what's
another
happening.
Side too.
Like, there's a change in the game. Like, you get the numbers and you sort of control not only the narrative, but also like the value of your brand. So when people come to you, they don't just come to you as an artist who needs like, who signed and then, because that's what was essentially happening in the game. Like, a lot of independent models were starting to emerge and people were figuring them out. People with like technical minds were sort of figuring them out. Like, Casper and Tilly, I guess, they were the first people in the game to figure out like, okay, as independent artists, if I can reach people and I create music like this and I do this and I operate like a label, you know, I'm out of here. You know, people like Nota and Questa and Leroy, you know, like we were speaking about it earlier, like how Boom Shakalaka was the first as a music product that's only supposed to exist on TV. It took off on the internet and we all watched it.
Yeah.
That guy is literally like, Nota is literally like one of the brilliant minds who were figuring it out. Like,
because of Nota, they knew how to follow what that was.
Yeah,
like, even though it was a new thing. It was like he had the ideas of, from this,
we do
being this, we then gonna do this, and then we're gonna.
It was so incredible. You guys went on the THT tour. I was so mad. You guys, I was so sad. And
another mold that we then broke at that time, where it's like independently, just kids who got in a bus and said, we're gonna,
because they hard,
travel nationally, because we got joints.
Because they knew what it was. They're like, you don't understand. We're gonna prove it.
Yeah, we're not gonna wait for the label or
we're gonna pack out the
big homies who had signed us or whatever. We're just gonna hire the bus and we're driving anyway. We get there.
I was so mad at all of y'all. I was even mad at Miss K, and I don't even know her. I didn't know. I was mad at strangers, like, man, you guys, you
why they hating on me like this?
Why y'all guys? But I understood. I didn't have I wouldn't have contributed anything that makes it worthwhile, because you guys knew you taking a risk. You guys knew that this is a risk that you have to take. It's like an election campaign. You guys are doing door to door, and there's an actual budget allocation for every single activity: sleep, eat.
And motion.
You know, gas.
And we don't even have budget. We're literally taking the negotiated
budget
rack from where we are at and using that to get to the next bag and using that to get to the next one.
The first people to document it as well.
And put it on.
And create it and put it on and make it exist.
It's crazy. We still have all that footage.
I know you guys do. I learned from that. I learned from watching that closely, like what it means from like a branding, a growing, you know, a movement, spreading the movement perspective, like taking initiative, not just being hot because you can get plugged and played into mainstream media. When you drop a single, it goes through your label, Cash Time, then it goes through Sony, and then it gets distributed by whoever is the communication person at a big label, because they have these relationships, these decade-old relationships with mainstream media. Like, this is the music that's distributed. To see that at a level where I'm not like a major distribution artist, I knew it was important. And I did my first show, which I got to announce for people. I'm doing my next show on the 3rd of August.
Yes.
You know, where I realized like, this is what I should have been doing this whole time. But I guess also the time is right, you know? Like doing concerts for your people, like where you bring out the band and it's a 3-piece.
Because we're also from an era where a lot of these things didn't actually exist.
And weren't commercially viable.
Even the idea of making your own show for your fans is something that really was driven into our minds. From Casper filling up the dome.
Yeah.
It's like, that's when it became like, oh, okay.
Props
so
to him,
if you a nigga and you got a fan base and they fuck with your shit, you could actually gather them into one space and say, oh, okay, come rock with me then.
Yeah, nah, he's the one for that. Like, because we from the generation that saw like Jay-Z pack out Madison Square Garden and how it was documented and presented and witnessed by all of culture in that time. And we knew what it meant the artist was saying about themselves as an operator in the space. So to watch that guy actually...
It definitely was very chiga of him at that time.
Right?
Because even how the country felt, like...
But it was hard,
on the day.
On the day, it was a big thing. Because we'd never seen somebody take being hot and do that with it.
And turn it into...
And know what it means in value. In terms of value to say... You guys don't understand. I am a superstar.
To prove it in real life form. Like, okay, the thing that you see on TV and feel and hear about, like, about my music, okay, let me show you, like, on this day. You're gonna come out here and we're all gonna throw these jams and it's
together,
gonna be
electrifying. That's what it was. Because we'll be honest, there's been superstars before in the country who were just as big, but I wanted to say never in hip hop. I think never in SA hip hop music since maybe Brenda. We don't even know why she did that at the time. It wasn't documented as to the why she knew and but
facts.
let Amu tell it, let Zola tell it. They were performing to hundred thousands of people when they were hot. They were performing to crowds that were big in the 90s, early 2000s, in December season and stuff like that. Right?
The festivals,
But nobody ever said, okay, let me show you. They're gonna come see me. Just me.
Yeah, me.
Not a lineup.
Yeah, I'm not booked at a...
Just me, one night only. The Black Album. Like,
Facts.
just like on some... But he was so hot, bro. It all makes
Which
sense.
now has evolved to then Nasty and Reese and them. They have their own
like, things that are
things that they take on the road. Blackie as well.
that are big, you know.
So it's become like now like okay.
This is culture.
Take that risk,
This is culture. You put on a show, you put on a presentation, you know. Java did it the other night also.
Fire.
The Isbugo tour. Love that album. Love that artist. Love that artist and his art.
How did you feel about my comparison to his greatness with Forbes?
It's correct. I don't like, because essentially Java's from hip hop, right? But like we were saying earlier with what you guys were doing with music, he found a way to take his hip hopness and communicate it in a language, in a medium, in a style.
Through sonics
that resonate with, you know what I mean?
It's mixing cultures that are actually from SA, like
more authentic.
The Maskandi niggas,
more authentic. And you can see it's really him. It's not like you can see it in lifestyle. Like he really be like that. So it's not even like cosplaying or whatever. It's
he's
really
not putting on the role for the brand.
You feel me? He's really like that. And that's what makes it even special. You hear it in the music. Like this guy is like an artist. For me, he's like, every time I've caught like clips of him like backstage or like in the studio, I feel like, oh man, Java is one of those artists who are like so special for us to be witnessing. He's like, I don't even know who to compare him to.
Yeah, it's just a one of one. It's like,
dude,
it's like, yo, there's other people and then there's him.
He's a savant in there.
Yeah, it's like he's on his own on the side.
His understanding of this, because his music,
it's generational.
Bro, ethereal too. It's like, how did you translate
Definitely
that?
Ethereal,
like that, but with such clearness, like, and it's trippy.
The combination of him and Ruff also. Because Ruff musically and then engineering-wise is so accurate that them together just makes...
magic.
Yeah.
I love
I said all that to say I love the Smooth album as well.
I feel it's a correct. He's a savant, just like Forbes was.
Exactly.
RIP to Forbes. Got the pleasure of being in studio one time with him when Run Josie was being created as a demo with him and Yanga.
Yeah. Fire.
Yeah, when he told the story on Helen's podcast. He was trying to figure out how I got verified, and I knew him through you because he'd pull up to the crib,
at the crib at the
to the spot in Bram. I'd be hanging out with you guys, and he'd just pull out back in his Shiroko days.
Yeah, just jam some FIFA.
Just jam some
hit
FIFA.
The cup a little. He always come when he wants to hit the cup.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God.
Because we were the go-to niggas for that lifestyle. Yeah.
We were wilding out. That's why I felt like, I saw that other episode, and I was like, oh my gosh, were we like this? Did we nod off like this on the?
No. We had. I had to put that together. We knew like where we had to go work. You said it yourself,
Yeah,
like during the day we, had a cup on us, but knew that we had to be upright for that. Yeah. But the thing is also the internet has also allowed for people to be way more themselves and more unfiltered and be like, So we're in the era where even I'm a live jive druggy type.
Yeah, live outside. Oh my God.
Now I'm going off the. We live in that time too, so a lot of evolution has happened. Yeah.
But I can appreciate that. And things take time. Everybody's gotta grow in their space and be themselves. That's the thing about hip hop. You get to see a lot of behind the scenes things that you normally wouldn't see. Like now with the how big the internet has gotten. You know what I mean? Like it's such a serious thing that something of the internet could be put on mainstream media for everybody now to see.
It interlinks now.
You feel me?
Somewhere. It meets somewhere.
Yeah, it never used to be like that. Damn you, OnlyFans.
The porn is also all over. So do you take any credit, which I would believe you should, for how fire a rapper Kid Teeny came out as? Because Kid Teeny learned directly from sitting in the studio and watching you create.
Yeah. I used to not appreciate that on his behalf.
When he was still in primary school.
Yeah. I used to not appreciate that on his behalf. Like, no man, this guy is his own.
Yeah.
Are you guys not hear how fire this guy is? Stop that. I used to not appreciate that on that level. And I think I was so terrible because it didn't make me realize what was going on around me, and it didn't make me fully take in, because Kid Tini says, what do you mean, Trill? Like, I was checking you go, and I was like, oh my goodness. He said that a lot of times to me. So now I can finally say, okay, but the guy always had it.
Yeah, he always was lit. But he tailored his shit to
Right.
I was there.
You were there.
I was watching it happen.
You were there. But he's such a brilliant wordsmith, man.
Yeah.
I still, my jaw still drops listening to Kid Tini rap. Like, what the fuck was that?
Did you just...
When I met this kid, he wasn't doing this. Little bro wasn't like going...
Yeah. He
going
definitely
stupid like that.
He definitely came out because he was like, a boarding school nigga or some shit.
Yeah. He was like, we rap around here?
Yeah, it's like, he
Don't
came around.
Don't let me rap.
And then he left.
And he came back
a beast. He was like, wait, what happened to this kid?
Bro, he came back snapping. He came back snapping hard. So I take it. I guess he was somebody who molded his thing of what me. Yes, it was my style, but sound-wise, me, his brother, Tini and .com sort of figured out, and J Smalls. We figured that out as a sound, as a style, sure.
Yeah.
Because I learned how to rap without the beat, I was trained on the ciphers. I was trained on the corner. No beat, just the beatbox, raw, unfiltered, for the love of the culture. That's why I hone my skills. Yeah. So to become a rap musician was a different thing. And to figure out what you were doing. And to be thematic in your approach, to be concise in your messaging, cohesive in your sonics. I had to learn that.
Which is a lot of work, by the way. Like,
it is.
And that's a tough thing to have to learn when people already have noticed you. It's like, which is a thing that we, I guess myself and you, I can relate to that. Having to learn that when the game already has its eyes on you. It's like, but wait, I'm still learning actually how to do this thing. You guys saw me because I could. If you need a 5-verse, I got you. That I can do.
I'll be there
whenever.
At your door.
But
Uber Eats.
Fine album.
It's tricky.
Let me figure that out.
Let me figure that out as far as like how to make hits and how to make music. I felt like I was always like taking from you guys because I hung out with you guys as my friends, as artists that I respect, as artists that I make music with that just never drops.
We always were.
Because of the business at the time. We were very careful. We would record everything, but not everything dropped. Because it was just like a lifestyle, like with these musician youngsters. Man, how old were you when you
And
grew
I
up?
became that. Like, I'm still that to this day. Like, that thing has never left me where I feel like I'm actually okay just having the experience of recording that.
But you were a child star in my.
I was.
You
I
were
was
the
like,
first generation.
Yeah, I was like
What, you
19, 20.
You were 20
Yeah,
when
I was
you
like
when
20, turning 21, yeah.
Yes. So by that, you guys, our generation is the first to have like a young guy like that.
Yeah.
And then came the nasties. And
Yeah, that came after that was a thing. It was like,
people go straight from high school to the league.
It's like, this is
that's
a
my
thing
Missy
too.
level.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God. But it was
first breed of that. Yeah,
first breed of
facts.
that. That means, oh man, shout out to the OGs who made the climate so ripe for that kind of
KO
springboard.
and them for seeing that and investing in that. And then obviously Slicker
Head of the
as well,
curve.
and them doing it with Questa, and then Jabba doing it with
Casper.
and because we all are same age range, same generation.
Yes.
Like, we all had those big homies pick us up.
They
big
knew,
homies were on
they
timing.
knew art. Yeah.
Which is why I kind of felt, and I don't know if this is something off the side, but as an OG from that generation to the new niggas, which is why I kind of felt words with the way the OG's statement on his album. Because I'm like, okay, are we the one? Because judging from the OGs that put us on, are we the ones? Where are our youngins that we signed and threw in the game?
Oh my God.
Where
That's
we
so
at
crazy.
on-
Where we
on
at
that,
on that front? Terrible.
If
we doing terrible.
If we gotta look in the mirror,
we doing terrible. But I've always tried.
We've
tried
had
to give
impact
back.
and inspired and changed and all sorts of. But like, where's the?
I've always tried to physically. I used to overthink it. Now that you speak about it like that, because I always thought it's like, if you're gonna invest resources, you're gonna invest money. I always thought it like in the stupid way like that. You gotta have money to invest money.
I feel you. Yeah.
But like it's like I didn't realize that my contribution was also very valuable because I've always same as me. I was identified by people who were older, who'd been alive longer, who knew life a little bit better, who knew the implications of what I was getting into, who saw something in me and said, okay, you serious about this? This is what you need to do.
Yeah.
This is how serious you need to take it.
This is how you
This
gotta,
is what needs to happen for you to be considered
This
as
is what your lifestyle needs to be like. This is like
you're gonna hop off the alcohol and drugs. Clean your act up. Stop playing. You don't have time. And it's like I do that with like artists. I feel like when you're a young artist and I come on your record and I do my thing, that's me opening up a thing where we have this relationship where you can come to me about any sort of advice. Like, yo, big homie, what do I need to take it to this level? And I can tell you from my honest opinion, because if I'm going to be on your record like that, it means I actually believe you're fucking cooking over there. You're the one. Keep going. It's my keep going. Whatever you need, I got you. If I can help in any capacity, be it a word, be it like a phone call. So I feel like I've done that enough times. I've been there to see people, to see the young artist, and I've always been an advocate for that.
I definitely have niggas that, but I feel like we gotta do more. Yeah, we gotta do more. Not even just sign, but like
there's more to do. But you're doing the most. You have this as a platform and as a like a you're documenting culture of success, of like failures, the do's, the don'ts, what happened. It was an epic thing you were doing with Milestone Heights. The episode with Refilwe.
That was an honor, yeah.
Isn't Refilwe like the invisible hand? In like, you have him here on your platform speaking with the legend Cooley, explaining how such an important thing like Milestone Heights was formed.
And Motswako itself.
To have
documenting
that history. You feel me?
Documenting the Kwela's entrance.
Into the game, the new wave. You were at this Isbuko tour, seeing what's jump. So it's what I'm saying is
documented the TWC breakup.
Buddy, I was scared. I was like, hey man, what's going on here?
They asked me to, so I was
did.
like, okay.
They did.
I didn't even know they wanted to know that, but I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But I didn't even speak to them niggas for that. Like, those are people to speak to. Like, I'm documenting everybody's, and my point is to try and get around to everybody.
You doing
like, it's not even about making viral episodes or whatever. It's like, it's about if we can get to a place where it's like you called it a library earlier.
Yes, sir.
Where it's like you can literally go in there and find any
happened.
story and from anybody and
Precisely.
just plug in and play. So that's fine.
Yeah, shout outs to you guys.
Appreciate
it. Chopping It and Bro Bean Studios. Kudos. Here's your flowers from me on behalf of the game.
Fire. So you got your taste of like mainstream attention and success when you were on your Bump Your Cheese Up remix, verse slaughtering, and Awantombazane. It's like, you know.
Right.
What was that like? And did that taste make you feel like, oh, now is the time where I'm coming for my mainstream grace?
Yes. And looking back, I can't believe I still had so many doubts.
Even then,
I was still trying to, I still felt like I've got this huge point to prove. I've got to work hard. I've got to be everywhere at the same time, which was impossible.
Yeah.
I was doing too much because too much is happening in the background. I feel like too much is at stake. But that is where things sort of changed for me. Like 2013, because somewhere between the album dropping and the verification and being able to follow you guys around like the real game. Like, you know, at the time, you'd get activations from like Miller, Hype Magazine, Back to the City was the biggest one where all the brands would be backstage. So you get to like, you're making touch points with everything that's investing money into the culture to make SA hip hop a viable career choice, market, you know, for a creative like myself. So I meet Stogie at like a hype event. This is early. This is just before Casper took off because he's performing that night. Fred Mercury is the editor of Hype. I think he just got the baton from Simone. Shout out to Simone Harris. The good old days.
Simone Harris, gold.
I wish you knew it was the good old days while you were in the good old days.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
The irony of
golden
life.
Yeah. So that's happening. I get to Stogie T. I embarrass myself. He shoos me away.
What? What do you mean?
I said something out of pocket because I was like geeking out.
Yeah.
I was geeking out mid-show. Big Homie puffing he's
on his cigar talk.
He's not even talking to any. He's standing alone in the middle of the... and he's really locked in, watching... I think Proverb is performing. That day.
He's up.
Yeah, he's like tapped in. Eyes low, you know, so I know he's had some yak. And I know he's here with people. He got his gazelles on with these fedora tilted cock back.
Come on now.
But he's
on his big homie shit.
Yeah, he's watching this thing. And I said something stupid. And he just said, yeah, you do that. You do that, big dog. You keep doing that.
And Stokey's like that too. He'll hit you with the...
That's him.
You go ahead and enjoy that.
You got unfamiliar. You came around acting like you
will
familiar.
hit you with one of them,
But when I passed him the CD...
remember what you said, though? The stupid thing you said?
Let me see. I said something like, I'm trying to break the ice, thinking I'm suave as shit. Trying to slide in there. What up? You enjoying that, huh?
Yo, he good, right?
He's dope, right? He's nice, right? I'm loving that too. It's like, yeah, you go love that. You do that.
Yeah. Enjoy yourself, young man.
Do your thing, young man. You know?
Why are you telling me?
Isn't this what we here for? Are you not entertained? But you know, but like, you know, the next time I bumped into him, or it might have been the same night. No, it wasn't the same night. I passed him my CD. I was selling my CD for $100, and I tried to pass it to him, and he's like, "No, you good." And he passed me the 100 note and took the CD. And that's
Fire.
how exactly he listened to
Fire.
that. And I think through Instro, maybe knowing me through Len, my big dog, I used to stay at Len's.
Instro, yeah.
Yeah, I used to stay at
Big
Len's
dog.
sometimes when I wasn't with you in 2010. Because he stayed in the same building that Nkululeko and them stayed in.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same complex.
Complex, yeah.
Exactly, in Auckland. So him knowing Instro being the in-house engineer at Motif, I'm sure when Stogie played that was like, oh, you playing some, oh, you know this guy? Nah, he's nice.
Yeah.
I just got verified. I'd been seen backstage with you guys or with Tini. I was becoming official. That's how I got featured on
Bump
the Cheese. No, it wasn't even Bump the Cheese Up first. There was No Sleep first.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was No Sleep remix with Reason, Stogue, Monewa.
Oh, shit, No Sleep remix had Monel.
It had Monewa, it had El Tito. It had El Tito. And that's how I became official in the game.
Yeah.
That's how Bump the Cheese comes up. That's how I go on my first tour with Motif and them, Dream Team and them.
Yeah.
On the Kendrick Lamar tour when he was doing the tour for Good Kid, Mad City with Miller, I think. There wasn't even
Crazy.
Boomtown.
Yeah. But I remember when he came around that time. Yeah.
That's when the lights were like
On you,
bright.
like,
I was staring at the lights like, oh my
Here's
God,
the
I'm
time.
backstage. This is Deleuze. I'm on a plane. This is Kulichana.
Yeah.
This is Todi.
On the same flight.
On the same flight, 3-city tour. We doing Durban. We doing Johannesburg Stadium.
That's
doing
definitely when you
Fontaine.
really start feeling like an artist. Like
I'm
when you
like,
start
I'm
bumping
inside.
to the artist on the plane
yeah.
and at the airport.
At the
you're like,
airport, I'm like,
oh, we
oh
all,
my God.
We all going to. Oh,
This shit, yeah.
We all doing the same show. Oh, yeah. We stay, where you staying at? You staying at
We
the
at the
hotel?
hotel. Yeah, okay. Exactly. That's when I was
fire.
official. I think this is like 2013. Yeah, that's when that tour happened. And that's how, well, Bump the Cheese was already out. And that's how the biggest record from that run, I think Amantombazana comes out.
Yeah.
All the other features
It's like,
exactly.
yeah. And on Amantomazan, what are you? Are you top 3 out there? What are you looking like? What are you looking like? Because they always like, you know, that chop has always been a chop. Like, who's got that best?
Man, it's there was that chop just 2 days ago. I think Creative Corner, another collective that's doing amazing on the social media spaces for documenting culture. I think they said they posted that 2 days ago. Like, here's this historical moment. Who was nice? When I look at because they change every year, every season, every era of SA
After some time, it's like, oh yeah, nah, actually this one
This
is
guy.
the one. That was the one. Yeah.
I didn't. You could be top 3, you could not make it because Malum Kuket, Questa, X.
Yeah.
Those chats. Those are the chats. Then it's Mags, myself. It's always between those guys when I read the comments, which is something I don't do everywhere. I only maybe do it on like Instagram and Twitter. I don't check YouTube comments. I should go check out the YouTube comments.
Yeah,
on
maybe
that
they're
song.
still fighting that
Who's
fight right
the-
now. Yeah.
Which is like 10 years ago. That's crazy. That's 2014 now.
That's how you know it's a legendary joint.
It blew up instantly. It went off instantly.
When you see, when you talk about your heartbreaks of moments you weren't included in,
that was it. Oh, crazy.
I felt that one. And it's like, that's when I
Crazy.
regretted, because me and Ricky had smoke.
No, you lie. You had smoke from there?
Yeah,
Sina.
because I don't know.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah, remember I had talked crazy on Hype Mag when they had done the Stay Scheming
Oh.
and taking shots at us with Tito and them on there after we did the thing with Forbes.
Hey, the game was hard.
Yeah. So he was on the
was
thing and
hot.
he was talking. He was doing the skits where he's talking crazy.
Oh my God,
So then I went and talked crazy on Hype Mag. And I remember we ran into each other outside the club and I stood on it. He asked me, what were you saying all that? I was like, nigga, you were saying all that.
You were standing on business. Remember we pulled up to
It
the
was
club one time.
trouble
This day
then.
no business.
Remember you were there that night?
We were chilling at in Bromfontein at Jaws Flat, right?
Yeah.
Jamming, making music or
FIFA,
whatever.
yeah.
Just
On a Sunday
standing
night.
horizontal.
Believe it.
Being stupid. Like, but we were making music and like I think you already had smoke because you used to be crazy on the Twitter, right?
Yeah,
and you said something.
To this day,
and this brother whom we've made up with and everybody's okay now, so we won't say his name.
Yeah, respectfully.
This brother said something crazy to you and you said, what?
Nah, he promised me hands, brother. He initiated the hands. Yeah.
You were so offended.
I was.
You couldn't believe him. You were like the God.
Extremely.
The Lord was like, the nerve, the gumption to call me out the
for
side
the
of your
hands,
neck.
yo.
You think it's a game?
I was crazy.
Yeah, UNC's were always the pull-up niggas.
Which was crazy because then after that, C's called me to reprimand me.
Stop that.
Like, yo, that's not how we move. I'm like, how's that not how we move?
You take pictures of being outside the nigga house, outside the nigga workplace.
Nah, we don't do that.
He drops his location on you. Oh my gosh, C's. But yeah,
yeah, Fuck saw the tweet of him in the club and we had to go see him.
I remember everybody was stopping us. Reason stopped us.
Yeah.
Speedster was disappointed with us.
Yeah, Speedster was hurt.
He's like, you guys are just... So you
Why
guys
are you
think...
guys moving
so
like
you
this?
think you tough, huh?
Yeah,
That's what he said.
Speedster
He was
did
upset.
not
He was
appreciate it.
Disgusting behavior.
Actually, when he was addressing that, him and I almost threw hands.
Yes,
Yeah.
And that's when I realized, because he was lit, he was drunk.
Yeah. But also, I was out of pocket at that time.
Yeah, but
I just was ready to put them
young,
on
though.
anybody.
We were young though, and I think the tone came off funny because he was drunk. He was so drunk that night.
It felt like a challenge.
It felt like a challenge, and I think that's how we realized, okay, we're carrying this energy
a bit too strongly.
deeply.
Yeah.
Friends are about to fight. Let's stop this.
Like,
Let's stop
we
this
gotta
now.
get off that.
Oh man!
I think what had pushed me to that actually was all the Twitter scuffles.
We were upset.
So it made me feel like, okay, if niggas feel
upset.
like I'm soft, they're gonna have to show me when they see me.
They thought it's a light-skinned guy. They thought shit's sweet.
If niggas feel
you
like
upset. But yes,
like they can play with me how they play on Twitter, then.
So I guess yes, I didn't know that's. I've never known, but now that you say it, I do imagine that is like the times you felt like maybe you missed out on a moment. I don't even, because I remember Ricky was still with Motif. It was just the first time youngins from different camps, or maybe let me not say youngins because we passed that now. The young guys in the game were sort of like, taking the reins and taking up space.
Definitely
and
a one-of-a-kind moment. Because also the Boys and Bucks movement itself was like a very youngins-oriented movement where it's like the youngins are doing it themselves.
Youth culture,
it's just them. They have their own look,
they knew how to brand
feel, and sound.
They already knew what branding was like at a media level. It was like almost having our own version of like Odd Future.
Yeah.
Created media.
That's the most accurate.
Scoop was hanging around that scene at the time, and it was just
they had everything in that group. Yeah, it's like a super group.
So when he got signed to this cut that was making real moves, and he could create art and content at that level, and it could get like major publishing, major distribution.
Yeah,
he took off. And he sort of contributed to bringing everybody for everybody to see, this is a serious movement there. That was when I felt like, that's when superstars were made. That's when Questa took off, because Questa was big.
Yeah, Questa was already.
But not 9 times
him
platinum.
And X.
Him and X were superstars. Yeah. X was coming up on platinum because Kata Kata was already out.
And he was so remarked, and
he was a hot guy. Oxet, passing special.
And Questa were on a run simultaneous, and people at the time would love to put them on joints together when they feature.
Yeah.
There was that trend of getting both of them on a song.
You know, Questa is actually crazy because that's even before Ngoto.
Yeah. Questa's a different
took
nigga.
off.
Yeah. Questa has
2016 now, because that's 2014. So now 2016, MT's coming up, Nasty's
a whole
coming up.
new era starts once
whole new era.
more. Yeah,
Casper is the man. Like he just filled up.
he just became big dog.
He just became the big dog of the industry.
It's him
just
and
filled
Forbes up there.
It's him and Forbes. Questa says Ngoto. Things change.
Nasty.
Now we have a top 3.
Yeah.
From our generation,
Yeah.
2016.
Facts.
Things changed.
Nothing
Things
was
changed.
the same.
Nothing was the same, dog. I'm looking at that. I'm on the Sprite tour, the second Sprite tour. I'm like,
Crazy times.
dog, I'm like, I'm not doing enough. I need to work more. Like, I need
Definitely.
to. So I'm trying to pivot. And yeah, I think.
Interesting perspective. Do you feel like the family man motion gets in the way of like the rapper nigga? Cause you're on your family man motion simultaneously. Like your son's getting into like grade 1 and you and your lady are probably like now
cohabiting,
like
fully.
you're 9 years in. It's like so you gotta balance. And it's not a game when you got them kind of years under your belt.
No,
You're
you
dealing
look
with
like
different problems.
Yeah,
It's not sweet.
It looks sweet,
but
it's not sweet. It's not sweet.
Give it
There's
a
a
stack.
pressure. The pressure
Pressure's crazy.
is enormous, and you know you blocking it out with everything else that's happening around you. You acting crazy.
Because you gotta be a loving man,
I've
a
got
good
lot of
father,
love.
and a great rapper.
Fucking.
And all at the same
I
time.
was terrible. I was failing. I was crumbling. I was failing terribly.
You are doing this, man.
I didn't like that performance at all.
It's a tough thing to balance.
But also, I put a lot of pressure on myself. I put unnecessary pressure on myself at the time.
You do the
I was hard on myself than everybody else. Noticed.
harder than you deserved.
Harder than I deserved.
No, Didi. Yo,
That's crazy.
crazy. Harder than you deserved.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I was wilding out.
You were beating yourself up. I know.
That's crazy. Ain't no way.
Ah, shit.
Exactly. So, you know, so it was crazy to balance that. So, watching the game change again. 2 years after Mantombazana, I was like,
That's another thing. It's like you try and master one thing and then the game change on you again.
the game changed.
It's
But,
like,
I
shit.
knew what time it was. I think I knew what time it was. I feel like I was part of like the group of people who realized what was going on. I mean, back then, I created songs like Fede Bade because I was under Sony, so you know, proper channels of distribution. That went on. People got to know me for those. For Mantombazana, Fede Bade, School of the Hard Knocks. A song that didn't even have a video.
On radio.
Yeah, you know, it was like my thing on radio. I had a run on radio for like the 2 years, but I felt like I didn't find the one. And then...
And that always like will hurt a nigga. No matter the progress that you make.
We were gigging. We were getting around. We were going around the country now
Got
off
a couple
music.
bands coming in.
You feel me?
Too crazy.
But I wanted like a 360 change for my life, for my family, for my kid. So it was like I did all that, and then a lot of things started. You know, I fell out of the label thing with Tini, and then with Sony. You know, saw the relevant type of people. You know, to see where it is I can go. You know, and it was like. Yeah, it wasn't connecting. Like I said, that's how I realized in hindsight that I was actually not doing great. Not doing great. That's why a lot of things didn't.
Yeah, as a man personally.
In my personal capacity.
Yeah. Like
in my personal capacity.
With your own mental, own imposter syndromes and...
Exactly. And just like the people around me, my loved ones, I wasn't like the best version of myself. Yeah, and also just like I think I can say maybe we took substances to numb out,
it, yeah.
all types of vices, whether be it being in the street, being in the club, too much, or whatever the case was, and just like losing yourself in the pursuit of something and not having a great balance of like mental health. We shoved a lot of that under the. It was time to work as far as we were concerned.
Get out there.
It doesn't matter what is falling.
No matter what I'm going
house
through.
is burning, but I gotta go because
get out there.
You need dough. You need dough to. You need dough to live, man. Out here in sales economy, yeah. And just the pressure of making it, having made so many promises to people around you, your family.
Be the next one.
Exactly, but yeah.
Because there's a stint of like you pulling back a bit between that time and coming back with the Bar album.
Yeah. So I'd say between like 2018, maybe 17 also, but more 2018, I fall off like mainstream media's radar, like in terms of being front and center. But also the game had sort of changed up. There was a lot of new faces. So
now MT, Nasty.
You know what I mean? Reese is on and the rain, the
thing
crew
is moving on.
Yes. And I'm not like out there like that musically. And I didn't know where I fit in. Very confusing time. Up until maybe like lockdown. When
because the flows are changing too.
The flows are changing a little bit and they're becoming more like...
And we've been rapping since the 90s. So it's like, hey, keeping up with some of these new flows not as easy as it was.
These guys are flowing out of pocket on purpose. It's cool.
It's like, okay, we can... okay.
Yeah. So I struggle a bit finding my footing, maybe up until I dropped like From Porch With Love in 2020. A project that like, because everything was still...
Porch comes before the Bar?
Comes before the Bar.
Okay.
Then it's the Bar. Then it's the project with Touchline, which did amazing for me. Like for me personally, Touchline is really him in the streets. If you know, you know.
He's really the boy.
So my first million streams of Spotify, I was my album with Touch. Just on Spotify alone. That happened. Yeah, shout out to my boy. Everybody that was involved in that. Boys in the Hood project. Shout out to Clendy for putting
that together. Because that I always applaud that. Like that's he was so spot on in his eye and ear for that collab.
Yeah, him and Reese, as I get word behind the scenes.
Reese was
executive producing. Him and Reese picking beats and putting us together.
Fire.
And that relationship formed artistically, but also just as a brotherhood. And I'm so thankful for that because it also took me out of a dark place. Like,
yeah, I was about to ask, like, were you ready to go out there and rap? Because if you're gonna rap with Touchdown, you have to rap your ass off every day. So
I wasn't personally. I was at that point again in my life where I wasn't having a great time mentally. I hadn't been having a great time for a long time, and things had just gotten worse. I just gotten a bigger blow. Like you start healing, maybe traumas of 2021, you start healing, you get a bigger blow in 2022.
It sits you down all over again.
So Touch took me out of that little funk.
Shout out to Touch.
Going out to rap with him. The first song we did after Tony Scar's probably Amen. That was like when I was really not, I wasn't like great. But I did Amen and things started moving. I don't know if I healed because of that or I was just healing. It was just because healing takes time in the process. And then all these good things were happening that made me let go of a lot of baggage I was carrying. Yeah. And I started getting in my rap bag again. The bag that I'm in now, because of that, I always drop music. I drop music every year, almost since 2020. But it's like the bag I'm in now because of that Boys in the Hood album.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm having the time of my life.
Yeah, you niggas. I was thinking the other day, I'm like, Touchline is actually like a Drake that lives in his timestamp bag.
He does.
Like, and never gets out to
No.
go do pop. Like,
No.
just you catch him in the timestamp bag every time.
Yeah.
And like hearing you stand out there with him was like,
Yeah. I've been
that was a nice fight to watch.
Right?
Yeah, that's a good fight.
No, I love Touchline. I'm a geek and a nerd for like rap, ill rap, like good rap as an art form because I feel like it's an art first that should be respected the same way painting is respected, or and then it becomes rap music.
Yeah.
So I'm a fan of like rappers at a technical level, and Touch is one of those people who, before he blew up, you knew that this is special.
Yeah.
And then he blew up.
From first listen, it's like, oh, nah,
This
that's
is special.
Yeah.
To when it was lockdown and people really got to see and hear Touch, and his numbers just took off on the streams and everything, and people started commenting, you know.
Seeing him build his own thing like that actually also is very inspiring.
He's a DIY kind of guy. He gets from working with him behind the scenes, he gets in front of the ball. But he's a very disciplined person, Touch, and an all-around good guy, like a beautiful
dude.
heart, beautiful person. You'd never guess because he's so mean on the record.
Yeah.
You know, he's so like, you know, the things he says are like, you know, they really like Tembisa like that. It's like, it sounds like Tembisa as a guy who grew up in those streets, but he's a well-rounded human being. And it makes sense.
Very dope nigga. I fuck with him.
Yeah, it makes sense. Heavily. So I was always watching and listening and fanning. That's why I feel that's the only thing that made me ready to get on an album with him, because I'm already a fan.
I'm super glad you niggas did that.
Yeah.
I was jamming that project just the other day, actually.
Peel.
Like it, like you're saying, it's like sometimes you get in a mood where you just want to hear like elite rap.
Exactly.
You just want to tickle that fancy. Like, where it's like, oof, nice.
He's brilliant.
What?
He's brilliant. He's elite rapping, whether he's bleeding with the pen and just telling heartfelt stories about himself or South Africa, or he's going for for all MCs' heads. Like,
and you becoming then better and getting into a better space from that kind of then explains your verse on the Pretty album, no?
yes.
Because that's coming, because that
I'm
verse
clear.
also, I'm like, yo, this nigga just got into
a bag.
Yeah.
It's coming off that. I credit it all to sharpening, because still sharpen still. Just watching how prolific and efficient an MC and a rap artist that Touch is. He gets in the studio, bro. He talks to everybody. He's pacing up and down. You see the idea formulate in real time. And he's very clear about what he wants to do. He doesn't go back and forth. A mistake, he just gets on the thingy himself, cuts it, goes back, records it. So clinical. Such a efficient, proficient guy to be with in studio.
real hip-hop artist.
Exactly. So that sharpened me. That made me sharper.
And are you working on something now?
Something
Project-wise?
something so special.
Yeah. So
I
you just
should've
kept rapping.
Yes, I'm like that.
You just
though.
didn't stop, yeah.
I'm like that.
You have to
I
catch a rhythm, no?
Yes, I'm like that.
Yeah,
But I rap, every year I have to rap. And my whole thing since I was probably 16 about rap is if I'm gonna start rapping this year, I'm gonna finish a project. Along with everything else that I'm doing for everybody, collaboration, I'm on his album, his project. I'm on that cipher, that thing, you know,
Yeah, you're gonna
BET
appear.
cipher, Hennessy cipher, Sprite cipher, wherever I am, there's always a body of work that I'm working on for myself, because I'm just an artist. Like, an artist has to paint. It's my medium of expression. It's not even like I was gonna rap whether I'm mainstream rapping or not. I started rapping before then.
So, do you know that's where even the retirement talk came from? Like, I realized that that's where I want to place myself. So I wanted to get rid of the mainstream shit. It's like, yo, okay, I did that. That's cool.
Right.
I had my time with that. That was cool. There's other people who can do that now.
True.
Like, I'm in a space where I want to do it because I want to do it.
Right. That's
And
such
do
a
it
beautiful
for me.
thing.
Yeah,
For you.
do it for me. Yeah.
For you.
Because I wanted to paint that picture.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I wanted to say those things. And that's the reason why I made it.
Yeah, you've always been my favorite artist.
Appreciate.
I've gotten in trouble.
Yeah, you've had to fight.
I'm like, you guys don't understand. You oaks don't
You've
understand.
always been one of the very few that go out on a limb and say, you niggas.
You guys will never get. If you don't get it by now, it's fine.
Fine.
Don't come.
There's niggas like me that
Don't come.
enjoy
We'll get
the
it.
shit.
Yeah. So because I've always loved your curation style, and you mentioned off air that you curating and creating an album for one of my favorite female artists in the game. I have a dream of working with a I want to create with a female R&B Afro pop artist. I want to create an album for them, like what you're doing.
Yeah,
because there's an
definitely.
inner voice in me in that bag that I haven't let out. Because I love R&B.
There's definitely beauty in letting go of something you created and boxed yourself into, and then getting into a space where you create outside of that. Yeah,
right.
And then you find and explore different sides of yourself that you didn't even know existed.
True.
It's like, so me doing it, I realized like, I might be an R&B nigga. Like,
Damn!
I'm like, I'm low-key, like, my R&B pen is like,
It's
it's like we would be in studio all the time, feeling like,
It's
hey,
deep.
it's like, this is so R&B.
Even how you rap on certain records, like how you'd rap on like a record with maybe Kush.
Yeah.
There was that one record you had. I was like,
the Miss
hey, yo,
Right.
This nigga is that
It's the
nigga.
R&B nigga.
You feel me? And but
Which is probably also why a song like Dlala would have worked. Because
Dlala's my favorite
it's in
shit.
also a pocket where mommy game talking and
I was
addressing
building
that
my way
pocket.
to that. I was segueing to that.
Yeah.
I was like, you see, you guys are gonna get it. Singer is the best. He's really the lord of the entire thing. It's not cap. He gave this new generation a whole style to run off of. I see them like, I see that bag because that's my man bag. I've been around him.
I was there when he created that
I was
bag,
there when he
yeah.
created this thing, this character that he can let live and exist outside of him, just because of how it permeates through the entire space and culture. And then and his Houdini is that, his magic trick is that he created that, and he'll step out of it.
And go find
something else to create. I love Dala so much, dog. When it hit my TV, I was, this motherfucker don't miss. And it took off like this motherfucker in the video with Nate the Bay, just giving you art in a moment. And wow.
Didn't miss there either.
Never.
With the visual and
Never.
the selection of...
I trust you to never, ever miss. You've been that nigga. Just an all-round creative director extraordinaire. They don't understand. I was there, Poppy. I was there, big dog.
It tempts me to want to do a whole lot of art for the fun of it.
You should.
But yeah, that's
it's
me
a
and my story in my life. Your show that you're doing now,
Yes,
you're naming what again?
Crazy. So come through 3rd of August, Maboneng, Bertrand's
Which is
Cafe.
like next week or something.
2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks.
Well,
getting
this
it
come
in.
out next week, so it's next
week. My bad. My bad. Edit that. Edit that out.
I've become a pro at this.
It's work. Business hours. Office
yeah.
hours. No, it's called Ginger Trill Live, a small room concert. Come out there. I'm not doing crazy numbers. We're gonna have like my nearest and dearest in the building. Some of my day ones are gonna be there. I'm gonna be doing the deep cuts, of course.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be doing the deep cuts that my day ones really mess with.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna be dressed up nicely. It's an opulent occasion.
Okay.
It's a fancy place, you know what I mean?
Like that.
And I'm gonna be there with
And
the
you're
three-piece
headlining
band.
your own event.
I'm headlining my own event. We're doing 100 people max in there.
Dope.
With everybody inside. It's gonna be a night to remember. And I should have
That's fire.
I should have been doing this all along. And I'm also working on a very special album. So I'm gonna be doing some
of the cuts from there
some of the
too.
cuts
Yeah,
from
yeah,
there.
yeah.
I believe this album is special. This one that I'm working with. Just keep your eyes peeled and stay tuned. And we're taking it up a level with this one, and that's why I'm doing presentations of this nature.
First of many, of course, right?
Yes, sir. Of course.
Yeah, because once you start doing shows, like, why would you stop?
Why would you stop? You know what I mean? It's time to curate. You know, these type of things and these spaces have become a novelty. You know, I was watching a podcast with Nota the other day, and I sort of got it like lineups have become such a crazy thing. Like, you get all these crazy lineups because of Hey Neighbor and Rocking the Daisies and whatever. That like these intimate things where it's just you have become now a novelty because it's so hard. I mean, he was talking about how it's going to be difficult for a lot of the guys now who are hot now to really do their own things. And we figured, okay, it's time to take it to the people who want it then.
Yeah.
Why,
Directly
as hip-hop, as a culture. Why try to fit in with everything else? Why try to be on a bill with everything else and everybody else where there's this group of people, you drop one album, if you're feeling froggy, 2 albums a year, a lot of stuff happens. Let's take it to the people who want to see it in style. Yeah.
Good luck, big dog.
Thank you, my friend.
I wish you nothing but the best.
I appreciate that.
I would keep you here all day and keep chopping it about all sorts of shit.
We could go on.
We haven't seen each other or chopped it in a long time.
Yes, sirski.
But thank you very much for coming out here to document your story, first of all.
Thank you, sir.
Being honest about certain moments in your story.
Thank you.
I hope everything gets better for you as a man.
Yes, sir.
And for your mental health.
Yes, sir.
You're all that.
Yes, sir.
What are your parting words for us before we come see you on the 3rd out there?
Yeah. Come see me out there. Stay tuned. I'm dropping a very dope album, you know, lyricist of the year things. You know, I'm going stupid.
Every time.
Every single time.
Every time.
year. So it's going to be dope. And yeah, I'm trying to take it to the world this time around. We're going to be doing big things, big announcements, curating. And yeah, man.
Yeah. Hit me up also when y'all make that R&B album with
Trust me. Trust me. Definitely.
Ginger Trill, Choppin It with Bhuda T, ladies and gentlemen. Legendary!
Damn!